This is the true story of a London cemetery where sightings of a shadowy figure triggered a citywide panic and turned into one of the strangest vampire cases in modern history. A figure in the dark, rumors spreading fast, and a cemetery that became the center of fear. Our story begins in the heart of London, within the sprawling Gothic confines of Highgate Cemetery. This historic burial ground was designed as a picturesque garden cemetery, a tranquil resting place for the city's elite. Its Victorian architecture, elaborate mausoleums, and winding, overgrown paths created an atmosphere of solemn beauty, yet also one of profound mystery. By the 1960s, however, large sections of the cemetery had fallen into disrepair. This natural decay, coupled with the cemetery's inherent Gothic charm, made it a perfect breeding ground for rumor and fear, an atmosphere already suited for the unsettling tales that were about to emerge. It was in the late 1960s that the first whispers began. Individuals, often those living near the cemetery, or daring enough to venture close to its crumbling walls, started reporting strange sightings. These weren't isolated incidents. A pattern began to form. Descriptions were eerily consistent. A tall, dark figure, often glimpsed at the periphery of vision, moving with an unnatural silence among the ancient graves. What truly unnerved witnesses were the eyes glowing, hypnotic, seemingly piercing the darkness. These sightings occurred predominantly at night, adding to the chilling mystique. While anecdotal, the consistency of these accounts painted a picture of a presence that defied rational explanation, sowing the first seeds of unease in the local community. By 1969, the trickle of reports had become a steady stream. More and more witnesses came forward, each adding another layer to the growing enigma. Local discussions, initially hushed and speculative, intensified, evolving into fervent debates about the nature of the entity. It wasn't long before the figure's nocturnal habits and unsettling appearance began to draw comparisons to ancient folklore. Stories started linking the shadowy presence to vampiric characteristics, the silent movement, the piercing gaze, the aura of dread. The legend of the Highgate Vampire was beginning to take shape, fueled by a potent mix of fear, fascination, and the fertile ground of an old, forgotten cemetery. The local media, ever keen for a captivating story, soon caught wind of the escalating rumors. Newspapers, initially with cautious headlines, quickly embraced the sensational. It was during this period that the term Highgate Vampire was first introduced, a phrase that would forever be etched into the annals of urban legend. What began as local gossip rapidly transformed into widespread public attention. The story expanded beyond the confines of the local community, capturing the imagination of Londoners and beyond. The media's amplification turned a series of unsettling sightings into a full-blown phenomenon, creating a narrative that was both terrifying and irresistible. The cemetery, once a place of quiet contemplation, became a magnet for thrill-seekers and the genuinely terrified. Individuals, some driven by morbid curiosity, others by a misguided sense of heroism, attempted to enter the forbidden grounds, searching for the elusive figure. Some even claimed their intention was to hunt or confront the entity, armed with makeshift weapons and a potent cocktail of fear and bravado. The situation escalated dramatically, far beyond simple curiosity, threatening to spiral out of control. The escalating panic soon manifested in physical disturbances within the cemetery itself. Reports emerged of damaged gates, pried open or broken, and disturbed graves, some even desecrated. Authorities, overwhelmed by the sheer number of people attempting to breach the cemetery's defenses, struggled to control access to the site. The physical environment of Highgate Cemetery began to reflect the growing hysteria, its ancient stones and hallowed ground bearing the scars of a city gripped by fear. Amidst the chaos, several individuals publicly claimed to be investigating or actively hunting the Highgate Vampire. These self-proclaimed experts and occultists, most notably David Farrant and Sean Manchester, offered conflicting statements and theories, each vying for public attention. Their pronouncements, often dramatic and contradictory, were eagerly amplified by the media, further sensationalizing the narrative. The public was presented with a bewildering array of explanations, from ancient vampires to black magic rituals, each adding to the confusion and deepening the mystery. The saga became a bizarre blend of paranormal investigation and public spectacle. However, as with all such phenomena, the peak of the panic eventually passed. Over time, the organized activity around Highgate Cemetery began to decrease. Fewer new sightings were reported, and the intense media scrutiny gradually waned. Public attention, fickle by nature, slowly shifted elsewhere, drawn to new headlines and fresh mysteries. The hysteria, though potent for a period, could not sustain itself indefinitely. The crowds thinned, the self-proclaimed hunters retreated, and the cemetery, though forever changed, began to reclaim some of its former quietude. In the aftermath, attempts were made to offer rational explanations for the Highgate Vampire phenomenon. Skeptics proposed that the sightings were likely misidentifications of shadows, local wildlife, or even pranksters. The power of psychological influence and suggestion was cited, suggesting that once the idea of a vampire took hold, people began to see what they expected to see. The media's role in amplifying the claims and inadvertently fostering mass hysteria was also heavily scrutinized. Crucially, despite the widespread panic and numerous investigations, no physical evidence ever emerged to confirm the existence of a supernatural creature. The Highgate Vampire remained a specter of the mind, a product of fear and imagination. Yet the Highgate Vampire has transcended its origins to become an enduring part of urban legend history. Highgate Cemetery, even today, remains inextricably associated with paranormal stories, its gothic beauty forever tinged with the chilling tales of the shadowy figure. Visitors still report occasional unexplained experiences, a testament to the power of the legend. The story serves as a fascinating case study in mass hysteria, media influence, and the human propensity for belief in the supernatural. A cemetery already filled with history, a figure seen in the darkness, and a story that spread faster than the truth. Was it something real, or a fear that grew until an entire city believed it? Because in Highgate, the legend didn't just appear, it was created in the shadows.